Hello everybody, I have a short pickups video to do here. I had two more Warner Archive releases arrive, and they happen to be my two favorite Bogart and Bacall movies. So I wanted to grab the Warner Archive versions of those. I have all four of their main pictures that they were together in on DVD, and these are also the two that I want to get on Laserdisc. But yeah, these are definitely my two favorites. First off, we have Key Largo. Can't decide if it's my favorite or my second favorite. Between these two, it's really close, but if I absolutely had to choose, I would probably say that Key Largo is my favorite of the four overall. It's one that I just always found to be enthralling in a slightly different way because of where the focus is. I really love how when they're trapped in the hotel, it's for the majority of the film, it's a movie that sinks or swims entirely on the writing of its characters and the performance of the actors portraying those characters. That is the whole thing. While it is shot beautifully, there are some great scenes. It's not something that is expansive. It's not something with wide-ranging action and different set pieces, and it's not something that travels a lot. There are some great scenes for the beginning and the end of the movie, but the vast majority of the movie visually is within the hotel. And so it's something that with people trapped during a storm in one setting with various rooms, in one general setting, it is entirely the characters and the portrayal of those characters that makes this movie fantastic, and that's why I love it. Everyone in here, I have no complaints about anyone from the supporting cast to the main cast. It doesn't matter. Every single performance in here, for me, is spot on perfect. Absolutely love it. Just fantastic character relationships. So overall, that might be my favorite, but really, really close is the Howard Hawks film based off the book by Ernest Hemingway, To Have and Have Not. And I feel like this gets a little overshadowed sometimes by Casablanca. I feel like it's one that when, I have heard people talk about, Bogey and Bacall in their movies, or in general just movies from this time period, I don't hear this one mentioned as much as other ones. Like The Big Sleep always, comes up. That's one, or like Key Largo. This doesn't seem to come up as often, and I really do think a lot of it is because the name and the prominence of Casablanca in popular culture is something that's been copied and mimicked on things like SNL, little scenes, even like cartoons. They even have something like Family Guy will do the plane scene, the goodbye scene there, like something from Casablanca. It's just one of those films, like something like Star Wars, where it's just part of the cultural lexicon. Even if you've never seen it, you know the name and you maybe can recognize a scene or two from it. And I feel like because these two are in many ways very similar films, telling a fairly similar story, that I think this gets overshadowed, and it's fantastic. I don't consider it to be as good as Casablanca, but it's not that far off for me. For me, Casablanca is a superior film by a little bit in every single way, except I really enjoy Bogey and Bacall in this movie. They sell it so well, especially Lauren Bacall. While Key Largo might be my favorite overall, if I had to pick a movie where I like Lauren Bacall the most, as far as a movie with Humphrey Bogart, that would definitely be this. I love her performance in this. Again, this is one where the characters stand strong. So I think it's a fantastic film that deserves more credit now than it gets. It did pretty well when it came out, as far as box office, and reviews were decent. Like, it was a movie that was definitely successful, but I feel like over time it's kind of fallen under the shadow of Casablanca. But so I definitely wanted to get this, and that's some cool special features. We have Bacall to Arms, 1946 short, love story, the story of To Have and Have Not, and a Lux radio broadcast. So this one has a few decent special features, and I wanted to grab the Warner Archive Blu-rays of these over the DVDs, because with Warner Archive I almost always go for the Blu-rays, because the DVDs are frequently just the print on demand. They basically high quality burn DVDs, but it's not what I want. I don't want DVD-Rs or anything like that. I definitely want the Blu-rays, and for the Warner Archive DVDs, most of the time, from my experience, they've done maybe the first print is a normal quote-unquote pressed retail DVD, and then from then on it's like through Amazon and things like that, where you do on demand. But the majority of their Blu-ray releases have just been straight press discs, like the actual releases. I think they have a few Blu-ray on-demand titles, but it's nothing like with their DVDs. So I always grab the Blu-ray versions because of that. Wanted to grab those. And the last thing here is a DVD that is becoming harder to find. It is actually a made-for-TV movie for the Family Channel. That it's just a cheesy made-for-TV movie. It really is nothing special at all. But Night of the Twisters, it's actually based on a true story of a town that was hit by multiple tornadoes within a single evening, and it was a very strange weather event. It's based on a real story, but it's just kind of a cheesy family entertainment movie of the week type thing. But I really enjoy it because I enjoy its cheesiness and enjoy the cheesy charm of some of the made-for-TV movies, especially of the 80s and 90s, because it's not really a thing anymore. So I do like a lot of those, and this, because I had a special attachment to, because it stars Laura Bertram. She's not one of the main characters, it's more her friend and his family are the main people. She is the older sister of the main character's friend, but it's coming right off of Ready or Not, which was one of my favorite shows of the 90s with Laura Bertram and Lonnie Billard, and I just absolutely adored that show, and that's when my interest in Laura Bertram as an actor started, and I've followed her career since then. So when I saw a preview for this on TV, I'm like, I gotta see this. So that was the main reason why I saw this, was because Laura Bertram was in it, and that's one of the main reasons why I have it. But it's also, I enjoy those TV movie of the week, some of them from that time period. More so if I have an attachment to it for some reason, whether I saw it live, watched with other people, whatever, or a favorite actress in her younger years, or an actor, or whatever, that type of thing. But yeah, so Night of the Twisters, I was glad to grab that on DVD, and then 2 more entries in the Warner Archive, the 2 that I wanted on Blu-ray of the Bogart and Bacall movies, that my 2 favorites, Have and Have Not, and Key Largo.